Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another game in Cape Town. Now this one, Samoa versus USA. It is a playoff game. It's a lot lower of a playoff game than either of these sides would have wanted. They are playing off for 11th in Cape Town. For the Samoans in the starting lineup, it will be Paul Eti Slater, Vauvaisa Afasua, Motu Opitai, Taita Ufono, Sinea Tavita, also BJ Lima, Eliza Pita Alafipo, and Taunuu Nauli Vaya. For the USA, Madison Hughes, Foala'au, Bizer, Esdale, Lance Williams, Aaron Cummings, and Lucas the Camp, the last man in their starting side. Like I mentioned, these two sides, I feel like they'll be pretty disappointed with their form currently throughout the competition. So far, we've seen the USA lose 4 games in a row, losing to Ireland, South Africa, Great Britain twice in a row as well. So they were close in that first contest, lost in golden point time, then lost again by the 7 points in their next contest. Now Samoa, they have lost 3 out of their 4 games. The only match they've won was actually against New Zealand, so a big upset in that regard. But other than that, they've just lacked a little bit of form. I'm hoping this is the game, though, that we see them really step up. The discipline's going to have to be 100% correct. Let's see whether or not they can pull off a nice bit of a win here. But USA will be kicking off from left to right for this contest in Cape Town. The last game for these two sides of their Cape Town campaign. The next time that we do see it, it is going to be the matchup taking place in Perth. And I say that Samoa win this game by 26. What is your prediction? I don't know about 26. I feel like I'd like to see Samoa win this game by around that maybe 12-point margin, and it is definitely possible, although USA, even in their defeats, have been pretty good at scoring tries. So I think it's going to be relatively tricky for the Samoans to stop the USA, definitely because of that defensive criticism that Samoa have taken throughout the Cape Town Sevens. Paul Eti Slater passing across to Vauvaisa Afasua, currently inside of their own 22 by Motu Opitai. Nice attack and run forward there. Beautiful offload, Sineo Tavita. USA rushing forward, about 3 men in that breakdown, which does leave space on the outside for the Samoan side to run through, and Nauli Vaya has spotted that. Now makes his way up to 40 metres out from the line. USA with a clean turnover. Lucas the Camp now has that ball just behind the breakdown. Gets another offload away for the USA. I feel like finishing 11th will be definitely disappointing for them compared with where they were last week in Dubai, but they would certainly still take that extra point that is on offer. Bizer running nicely. Now Cummings has to play half. Goes to Lucas the Camp, who sells the dummy. Taken down again. Now to the left-hand side. Another chance here for Lao. Got the pass away. Close to the try line. Only 2 metres out now for the US. Another offload made. Aaron Cummings gets close, reaches out, and scores the opening try of the match there for the USA. It seems like the Samoans, I guess, I want to say dreadful campaign, but then there's still that win over New Zealand thrown in there. But their lackluster campaign is probably a better way of putting it. Does continue another time that they have conceded a try. They had possession. They gave it up in the breakdown. It's as if maybe ball security is something the Samoans aren't quite doing enough of. And it's another try here for the USA in their Cape Town campaign. The kick has gone over 7-0 now for the US. 2 minutes gone in the half as well, so still plenty of time for a Samoan comeback. We saw that game just take place between Fiji and France, and how much of a comeback we saw the French side make. They were down by 17 points to then be ahead by 24 points to 17. That game going to golden point time. This one has the potential of also going golden point. The USA already finding themselves in that scenario once throughout the Cape Town Sevens. It's kicked off and nicely taken by Motu Opitai for the Samoans. Now looking to go to this left-hand side here. Nice little flick pass on the inside to Vauvaisa Afasua. Now looking for that next passing option. Sineo Tavita gets it away on the inside. Nauli Vaya now linking up with Alafipo, but straight in that breakdown again. The USA able to get the turnover. I thought there was a partial knock-on from the US player, but it is going to be play on sub, brother, says Tino. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. Beautiful kick in behind. Malachi Esdale doesn't manage to clean it up. Motu Opitai finally offload away. Samoa have to try and run this one out from their in-goal area, and they've done just that. And now creating a counter-attack and opportunity for themselves. They'd go 100 metres here if they were able to score the try now. Beautiful offload Attack and run from Paul Slater. Ball on the outside. Now pinning the ears back. Sineo Tavita in a foot race with Cummings, and he will get to the try line. Samoa back in the game. Brilliant try. 100 metres is how far they had to travel. In fact, probably a little bit more than that. 105 metres, because they were inside of their own in-goal area. Could have been a try for Esdale down the other end, but that is the unpredictability of Sevens. Sometimes you think you're on attack and then all of a sudden it all goes reversed. Having a fight from inside of their own in-goal area for the Samoans. Great run from Paul Slater, and then got it away to Sineo Tavita, and then he just pins his ears back to beat Cummings in a foot race. Is a very impressive feat, as that man is extremely quick. Not quick enough to catch Sineo Tavita. Now the kicking attempt, it's got some distance on it, but it has missed away to the side, so the score will remain at 7 points to 5 in favour of the USA. Now I should mention we have still got 3 more live streams coming up just around the corner, as well as the final and the third place playoff games for the men's side of things. The next live stream that we have got though is Ireland versus Argentina. That will be taking place at 1:55 a.m. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That is now going to be a free kick for the USA. They have called for the scrum, seeing as the kick from Samoa went out on the full off the kickoff. Little mistake that they didn't really need to make. And it's those type of mistakes that have been costing them drastically throughout this Cape Town Sevens campaign. 2 minutes left in the first half. Plenty of time for either of these sides to really put their foot on the gas and take this game by the scruff of the neck. To be fed in. They were at their own try line, and then 10 seconds later, they were on the try line of the USA. Yeah, they're a very impressive attacking side, Samoa, when they get it right. Defensively, they've struggled throughout this competition, although in this game, I actually feel that their defence has been a little bit better, although the discipline has just been shown again to not be up to scratch, as they've given away the penalty. Now going off to this right-hand side. Aaron Cummings goes off to Lucas the Camp. Tackled a little bit too high, so it is going to be the advantage now against Samoa again. Aaron Cummings. Wrestle backwards. Now takes the quick tap there for Cummings. Looking to find the next pass. It's an advantage for not being back 10 metres. Samoa playing this whole second half of the first half under advantage. Now nicely picked up by Lucas. The Camp finds his offload away, and the USA will be in again. Another try coming for them. That was just back-to-back infringements from the Samoans. There was one for offside. There was a high tackle. There was another offside. There was not releasing in the breakdown. You name it, Samoa was giving it away. A great offload from Lucas the Camp, though, to get himself the assist. Bizer scores the try. Now, Samoa down by the 7 with the kick to come. If this kick goes over, they will be down by 9, just to make it that little bit more difficult. And the kick is away to the side. Madison Hughes, you hear the frustration as he knows that that one needed to go over, and it's given Samoa just a half sniff of being able to get back into this game before half-time's over. Now another kickoff here for Lau. Gone high. Just going the 10 metres and claimed by Samoa. The pole is glitched. Says Moonstone. In what way? Is it like you can't, I guess you can't click on it, is it? Maybe it's ended up completing itself. Does that sometimes. Very confusing. It looks like the USA are playing really good, although they didn't have a good match yesterday with the pool matches. Says Manus, yeah, unfortunately for the USA, they are sitting 4 losses from 4 so far throughout this competition. Great run from Vavasa Apasua. It's going to be a foot race between him and Lucas the Camp. He's been able to take him down nicely, gets back to his feet, finds the offload up to Nouli Fire, who offloads it one more. Samoa passing out their backline, and Motu Opitai manages to score it. Mine is just completely wide and I can't click on it. Says Moonstone, so yeah, it may have ended itself early, possibly. So who are you backing in this one, Moonstone? Do let me know. Were you going for Samoa or for the USA? Because this game now going to be 12-all going into the second half. So a relatively close contest. And both sides having their momentum throughout that first half. I feel Samoa closed out the half a lot better than the USA with their breakaway try. Defensively, not the worst half we have seen from Manu Samoa Sevens side either. But The USA still more than capable of being able to get a few more tries in the second half, and that is where the danger comes for the Samoans. Now, lining up the kick, it has gone over, like I mentioned, 12 points each going into the second half. Now, there are still quite a few big matches coming up in the Seventh Circuit, ladies and gentlemen. For Cape Town, all us South Africans always support the Pacifica. Go Samoa. Says Moonstone. Of course, full support, I assume, behind Fiji then in their game up against the Australians. That is coming around the corner. Are you watching from a cell phone, says Mikhail? I am not. No, I am watching on my screen. So I have got the screen there with the game, and then I've got the chat here on the other one, so that I am able to see both. Yeah, South Africa versus New Zealand. That is taking place at 3:50 a.m. New Zealand time. That is going to be an awesome game for 5th place. Alongside that, Fiji versus Australia, and also Argentina versus Ireland. Didn't USA win the 9th place semi-final? This is the 9th place final, right, says Manu. So they did end up losing to Great Britain by 7 points. In the end, I think it was 21 points to 14. The glitch can happen in cell phones, says Mikhail. I see, so not me. Got an ad for Subway at the moment. I love a Subway cookie about now. Only problem, it's midnight here in New Zealand. Subway is not open. And the nearest Subway to me is 30 minutes away. So I don't think that's happening. In fact, I don't think there's anywhere that's open in the town later than 8:30 or so. So a bit sad. Have to make my own food. Second half just around the corner. We have got there. Do you know that outside of New Zealand, South Africa have the biggest number of All Black supporters? I did know that. And yeah, there seems to be quite a heavy following for the ABs in South Africa. USA the win, says Tino. Well, at the moment, they're not sitting too bad. 12 points to 12. It is going to be Samoa kicking off this one from left to right to get us back underway and rearing to go for another match. And the Cape Town Sevens, the last for both of these two sides, so they want to leave that lasting impact before heading to Perth, get that extra point on the board as well for the overall table. That is something that will be extremely important as we get near the end of the season. Beautiful inside ball from Cummings off to Lucas. The Cam now trying to pin his ears back, but he has been tackled well by the Samoan defence. Now Cummings goes across to the right-hand side. Hughes gets it away to Forlau. Gets his pass out, one more to Lance Williams. Ball back on the inside to Forlau. They're both linking up beautifully. Another offload to Cummins, and that will be the try again here for the USA. Hughes gets the try. Now, he did miss a conversion earlier on, so he'll certainly want to right those wrongs with this kick. But his second try in Cape Town, USA taking the early lead in the second half. That's just been a bit of a trend. The early try conceded by Samoa, whether it's in the first half or the second half. I don't think this game will be this close. I didn't think this game would be this close. Says Martis, and I love the ABs. My entire family loves them. Was rooting for them in the final. Says Moonstone. Yeah, the two sides going head-to-head. Of course, for the 5th place in Cape Town, that is at 3:50 p.m. Or sorry, 3:50 a.m. So 4:50 p.m. for you guys in South Africa. All-time points for the USA, 1,545 for Madison Hughes. Here sitting top of the bunch, ahead of Perry Baker, ahead of Carlin Isles, Thomas Seen. All those men less points than Madison Hughes. 5.5 minutes remaining though. A lot of hands on hips at the moment for the USA. I think the heat is starting to really hit them. They have to make sure they've got a stronger gas tank though than the Samoans do, or else later on in the contest, that is when they'll become susceptible to conceding those last minute tries. How many degrees is it currently? Last time I checked on my phone, it was around 23, but I believe with the sun out, there's not a lot of wind as well, so I think it's actually a lot warmer there than the... Oh, in New Zealand, what are we at the moment? We're like 8 degrees maybe? Something like that. One moment. 11 degrees, apparently. It's quite warm. T-shirt weather, which is why I've got my shirt on. Well, I would always have a shirt on, of course, doing these streams. That's another try for the USA. Swiftly moving along. It's going to be nicely done. Scoring out wide. And Adam Channel manages to score that try now for the USA. And this game now is starting to get a little bit more one-sided than Samoa would have liked. They're going to need a big comeback in the last 5 minutes or so. But this is definitely a competition that they will want to try and build from. The Samoans, the fact that they were able to beat New Zealand, but other than that, they have lost to the sides like Canada, to Australia, now to the USA as well. Although the game is not over. I shouldn't say too much because at the end of the day, Sevens is very unpredictable. 2 quick tries from Samoa, both converted, would actually give them the lead in this matchup. Now 4 minutes remaining. USA, they will look to use up as much time as they can on the clock in between time. Whether that is for a scrum or whether that's for kicking off. It's going to be put nicely high and knocked on by the Samoans. Another scrum, and just like I mentioned, this will use up a bit more time. Hi, all in Hamish. Says Robert, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. You're enjoying this performance so far from the USA, scoring themselves 4 tries throughout the first about 10 minutes of this contest. Now 3.5 minutes remaining. Clock is slowly wearing down. And why would you do a stream without a shirt on, says Marnus? That is a great question. That is why I always wear a shirt. Because or else then people would be very confused, wouldn't they? 3 minutes. Oh, penalty to Samoa in the breakdown. Fa'afoi Falaniko takes the quick tap. Have the US ever won a championship? I believe they have won a gold before in a Sevens league. It's a beautiful bit of work, but early tackle, I think, on an... I think it was pretty early, but they have set play on. USA now in possession with a knock-on advantage. Another offload to Lucas, the camp. Hello, Hamish, watching from Fiji. Says Naro edits, and of course we are going to have... Oh, it's the interception for Samoa between the sticks. It is scored by BJ Lima, and they are getting back into the contest now once more. But yeah, we will be doing a preview for Fiji versus Australia just around the corner. I believe that will be coming out at about 1 a.m. New Zealand time, so be sure keep an eye out for that. It may even be out a little bit sooner if we do get it filmed and edited quick enough. But we've got all the live streams scheduled up until, of course, the 3rd place and final games. We will be scheduling them a little bit later on. But we've got Argentina, Ireland, Fiji, Australia, the 2 semi-finals, and then the game between South Africa and New Zealand. Should be an epic one for 5th place. So they've just mentioned it is 32 degrees. So Mike Friday, the coach of the USA, is actually wearing a hoodie in 32-degree heat. That one is going to be put high by Fa'afoi Falaniko. Now the kick was successful. So they still have half a chance here. Samoa get back into it. But the USA, they have looked pretty good throughout this game. A lot better than some of their past performances in Cape Town. Still conceding a few too many tries. That is something that Mike Friday may look at for the future legs. We'll be covering the Perth Sevens next year. We certainly will be. And also the Champions Cup next weekend we will be covering on the channel. All the voices going. We can't be having that. We've still got about 6 live streams to go on the channel. It would be nice to keep the voice for all of them. Now off to the left-hand side. Paul Eti Slater fires the pass away. Looking for this next pass. It is not actually found. In the end, from Masifal, decides to hang on to it. Fa'afoi Falaniko going off to the left-hand side. 1 minute 20 remaining. Now out wide, Levi Milford almost going through. In fact, he's still going, Levi Milford. Wrestled down in the end by Lance Williams. Ball knocked on by Samoa. 5 meters out from the line. Just rushing it a little bit for Taitai Fono Saneo Tavita. I do think that Fiji will win Australia and go to the final. Says Manus. Good question. Of course, only a couple hours away from finding out if that does become the reality. Just went to pick that ball up. Didn't take that little bit of extra time to Vita. They are just showing, once again, it's pretty brutal, but they're showing Samoa are the defending champions at Cape Town Sevens. But a side that finished 10th last year, being Australia, they have now got the opportunity of finishing, like, worst case scenario, 4th. So it just shows how much a year can change. Samoa compared to next week, if they were playing again, it could have been a different story. Now they've got to wait, of course, a month and a half for the Perth Sevens first. Now 50 seconds remaining in this half. Well, we will go like this and like that. There we go. Now 10 metres out from their own line here, the USA. Ball's being knocked out of their hands. They have to force it down, and that will now be a 5 metre scrum for Samoa. What is the next game you are covering? The next game that we have got is going to be at 1:55 a.m. New Zealand time, and that is Argentina versus Ireland, the other semi-final. Of course, taking place just after Fiji versus Australia. That is the second one. Oh, okay, it's actually a knock-on blue. The touch judge has ruled it as a knock-on against Samoa. Because the women's game's just around the corner. I'm hoping to cover the women's final, I believe is the one that we will be covering on the channel. So anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We will go like this. And like that. There we go. I was just checking some of the odds for these matches. USA actually did come in as slight underdogs into this match, and that is going to be another penalty. So they're looking to cause an upset. They've only got another 20 seconds remaining. They are still inside of their 22, and Samoa currently playing with 6, as there is a man down in back play. Looks relatively serious as well, but I don't think Samoa will want the referee to stop this game because they are trying to get that ball back. Brilliant counter ruck, although passed out wide. 4 seconds remaining. Running down the wing. Consider going back on the inside. Lance Williams. Samoa, last breakdown of the game. Giving away the penalty advantage. And now Madison Hughes. He will take the tap. He will boot the ball into touch. And that is going to be the end of this contest, ladies and gentlemen. The USA managing to win 24 points to the 19. I still remember watching you when you had 1K subs. You see how far you've come, says Moonstone. Yeah, we've done a lot of live streams since then. A lot of videos on the channel. I always appreciate you guys who have stuck around throughout the few years that we've been on YouTube, and we've still got a few more years left in the tank, I think. So, yeah, be sure to stick around. See you next game, says Manu. So next game, 1:55 a.m. New Zealand time between Ireland and Argentina. That is the next match, and then straight after that, Fiji versus Australia. That is at 2:15. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are back, of course, with more Sevens a little bit later on tonight, and I will see you all for the next one.